Hi everyone, my name is Anna Forgony. I am an intuitive mentor, spiritual speaker, teacher, and this is the Blossom podcast. I am very happy that you are here with me, and then let's jump together into this new topic. One of the most spiritual questions. This is, who am I? So my first point of view, that why is it so spiritual? Because when you start to seek, when you start to search for the answer for this question, you could have different answers for that because everybody is different. But at some point, you could see, you could feel, and you could start to believe and also know that you are more than your physical forms. You are an infinite being. What is infinite being means? So, infinite being means that you are more than your mortal body. You have more capacity, more knowledge, more dimensions, more than this kind of physical planet, this physical earth. So, at some point, when you start to seek this kind of answers, the answers for the questions that, like, who am I? What is my purpose in life? What is my soul? Where am I coming from? And at some point, you will realize that you have a life force within, inside yourself. And actually, you have this kind of life force and energy not just inside yourself, but you are also part of it, part of a huge energetic quantum field. You are part of everything, and you are connected with everything and with everybody on a level. So, after your formal being, after your life, you are eternal, you are immortal. So, it could be a huge answer at some point for this question, but also it could be a huge help in case of your life. Because at some point, people could ask that, what is death? And my answer for you now that death is a gateway. Death is a bridge. So you are able to communicate with your loved ones after their death. So many times I had this kind of opportunity with my clients that they arrived to the session with different problems and challenges. But at the final point, we just realized that there is someone around them, from different plane, from different dimension. There is someone, a loved one, who wants to send some messages for them. So we have been working on that too, to release someone to communicate with them and also finish any unfinished business on a mental level. It could be a huge help for the loved one who passed away and also for the people who stay there. So, as I told you, you have the possibility to communicate with your loved ones. Everyone has different psychic senses. They could be awakened, they could be in this kind of sleeping mode, but you are able to communicate with them. And so many times I could see different sessions when somebody had some dreams with the loved one who passed away. So the importance of this question, that who am I? It's important because when you start to ask these questions, as I told you previously, at some point you will change your life, especially the relationship with yourself, but with others and also with life. Your soul, your eternal being part, is more than you can imagine ever. Your soul is eternal. Your soul has infinite possibilities and a lot of wisdom. When we start to see our life, our challenges, our problems, our tasks, our learning processes from this point of view, when we realize our power, the infinite power, energy, and possibility of our soul, we could also realize that we have more energy and more solutions in our hands than we ever imagined. So, when we see life from this kind of perspective, we could realize that life is here to play. We are here to play. There could be some lessons, but we could face with these lessons, with these challenges like a game. So we could play. So do not take too seriously life. It doesn't worth to take it so seriously. At some point, it's important to see our purpose, to take the responsibility. But I say always for myself, for my clients, and now for you too, but enjoy it. Enjoy each and every moment as you could just enjoy these moments. And I want to highlight here something. I do not agree with the working hard attitude. Why? Because when you are in alignment with your soul goal, with your life purpose, when you are in alignment, in synchronicity with the calling of your soul, it shouldn't be so hard. I don't say that we couldn't have some challenges, and especially when you have a dedication to upgrade the whole planet, to make this kind of accomplishment for the whole planet because you want to serve hundreds, thousands, millions, or even billions of people, who knows? Then, yes, sometimes could happen that we have some challenges. Because as you change your vibration, as you change your own perspectives, when you learn your own learning lessons, then it could influence so many people around you. When you are in the working hard attitude, you could actually miss your life. You could miss the opportunities where your soul wants to call. Don't miss your life. You couldn't miss your life, but don't miss to enjoy your life. So when you start to practice just to be in the present moment, you start to enjoy the pure being. And also you start to enjoy the pure doing. That's why this is so important to know, to answer this question and feel the vibration of the answer of your question, not just to know on a mental level, because I could know that I am an eternal being. I could know that I am more than my physical body. But if I don't feel this way, if I don't live this way, even if I know it, I won't do my actions, or maybe I won't be so much in alignment on an emotional level with these things. So when you know, you could start to act upon this information, according to this information. And when you start to act, like start to meditate, going out into the nature, or start to do and live in another way, you will be more and more in alignment with these practices, with these thoughts, and with the vibration of your soul and with the quantum field around you. And this is a daily task. I don't want to lie. The first time when I started to see my life from a different potential, I was 16 years old. Now, when I'm doing this podcast episode, I am 33. And my most huge breakthrough was when I was 23 years old. And still, on a daily basis, I am working on myself. I do my activities today. Before I just started to do this podcast episode, I did my morning ritual because I need this. So many changes are now in the outside world. I really want to anchor my own beliefs, my own self-esteem, my own self-worth, my own peace, my calmness, and the vibration of love inside of myself. So that's why this is so important to have some kind of daily practices, some kind of daily spiritual rituals to upgrade your own vibration and to be able to stay in this kind of pure vibration and love energy. So, as I mentioned, when you start to be present, when you are able to connect with your own soul, with the quantum field around you, you start to enjoy the pure being and also doing things because you are in alignment, in synchronicity with your purpose. And when you are in alignment with it, then the acting, the activities, the doing could be really different. So the doing is important as the goal, because when you start to put your happiness always into the future, at some point it could be also weariness in the present moment, because you will neglect to enjoy your own life in the present moment. That's why this is so important to know that, okay, I have a goal, I have a vision, I have a dream, I want to achieve this, but at the same time, I want to enjoy the journey for that. And when you are acting according to your highest goal, your highest purpose, then it could make you happiness. It could make you joy. When you have some resistance, it could affect also your emotional state, as you feel like scarcity or you feel fears. But when you are working on that and when you realize this, then you are able to move beyond, you are able to move forward and enjoy your pure being and the doing. So I want to highlight here something again. I don't want to lie. There are some times, there are some ups and downs in our life when we could face with challenges. So even if you are in alignment with your purpose, with your goal, with your soul goal, I don't say that you won't have any challenges. So many times, the challenges could also bring you to a major shift in your own life, to upgrade your life, to see the things from a different perspective. But this podcast episode is not about this topic. Just I really want to be honest with you. So not everything, it's so unicorns and rainbows everywhere. Yes, sometimes life could be challenging or we could feel this way. Even we could have some negative emotions. We are human beings, or we are eternal souls in human being forms. I could say more like this. But at some point, you will realize that suffering is unnecessary. And when you realize this, you have the possibility to choose another way. You are going to open yourself for life, for possibilities. And at some point, you will ask not for your own wishes. This is important as well. So, ego is important too, it's necessary. We don't need to reject or neglect our ego. But I'm talking about this, that you are able to ask the quantum, the life force, okay, what do you want to bring into this world through me? How can I be a service for the planet? Because when you start to ask these questions, this is a really pure, deep, eternal, and loving question or questions. And when you start to act and live your life according to these questions, you start to give your will to the eternal quantum field as a possibility. When you realize that this field is so intelligent, so helpful, so supportive, so all of the information and answers which are coming from there could help you in the highest and best way. And you won't need to control your life, in the previous ways as you did it. And you could be more in alignment, but also in a flow with the life force. And when you just realize this, and when you start to release the resistance from yourself, when you start to release this kind of perspectives that what is wrong, what is bad, what is good, what is positive, and you start to see everything from a neutral perspective, then you will realize that everything, and I said it again, everything happens for you instead of with you. We are here to learn, to grow. Yes, we are here also to make a service for the planet. But this is so important. When you ask these questions, then you will see the things in a different way. You will feel more. And you will see your own learning lessons, your own challenges from this perspective that, okay, what can I learn from this? What kind of virtues, skills, learning lessons do I have here? How can I move to the next level? What can I learn from this to move to the next level? I could tell you that our life is like a video game. When you are familiar with this kind of games, then you could know that there are different levels. The different levels could be also like different lifetimes or different chapters in your life now. And you are able to see that at some point, everybody wants to go back into this kind of nirvana, I could say like this, into the pure joy, the essence, the vibration of pure joy. Some religions say that, it's like heaven. But I really love the perspective of Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he says that we are able to create our own heaven in this planet. And I think the same way. Previously, when I heard this from Lipton, I had the same thought form that why we want to search and seek something out of our control or out of our world, when we have our free will, the possibilities in our own life. And yes, you could have some question mark in your head right now. Okay, Anna, but you said to give the control or the will to the life force, then how can I still have some free will? So in this kind of life, you could have some perspective. You have now a consciousness or awareness level. You could see the things from this perspective, but the quantum could have sometime a different perspective. And before you came to this earth, you already made some agreements with others, and in case of your own life too, that how you want to upgrade your energy, how you want to upgrade your life, your soul energy, how you want to learn, develop yourself. That's why we couldn't say that for some happenings that it is good or bad. We couldn't make this kind of text because before you came to this earth, you made some decisions, some agreements, how you want to develop yourself, how you want to move to the next level in your own life. There isn't good, there isn't bad, there is just as it is. Okay, this is really, really, really important. So, as I told you, our lives are like video games, and we have the possibility to upgrade our life, to develop, to make changes. And there is a summary of the different lives, I mean, the life of different people. So there is this kind of collective energy around us, and we are part of this collective energy. So every outcome, what you are creating right now in your life, is also a summary of a collective consciousness. That's why I say that your life is not just about a personal thing. When you put something into the outside world, and actually all of your thought forms, not just your words, I want to highlight this, all of your thought forms are an output for the inside world, because each and every thought form has a different vibration. Then you are creating too the collective consciousness. And at some point in the collective consciousness, there was a delay. That's why we have this huge shift on the planet right now. We had the last couple of years, these challenges helped us or helped the humanity to start to awake that they have more power than they could ever imagine. So that's why masters came to the earth. The masters mean that these souls were already on the planet. They accomplished their own personal mission or also the service for the planet previously, and they were already on a really high vibrational level. But as they saw there were some delay in the planet consciousness shift, so at some point they decided to come back to give some knowledge, to give some help and support to the people on this planet, and especially in their awakening process. As I just did in my previous podcast episode, you will have also the opportunity right now to do a quick meditation exercise with me. I want to tell you again, if you are driving, if you listen to this podcast episode like this or walking, then I don't really recommend to do during this time. You could come back to this particular area when you are in a calm space and you have just a few minutes to do this exercise with me, but still you could think about that when you are driving, when you are walking. But when you are able, then if you are able, you could close your eyes, just take a deep breath and start to focus inside yourself. And we're going to see now that how is your awakening process now in your own life. So please, again, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And please ask yourself, where am I right now in my process, in my awakening process, or in my process, what is better for you. Where am I right now in my process? And just trust the first answer coming into your mind. Don't judge it. Just trust the first answer. We're going to continue with the next one. You could ask from yourself, do I have any resistance towards? Do I have any resistance towards? And trust the first intuition. And the next question, what is my task now? What is my task now? Trust the first answer. Just realize. And the next question is, how can I be a service for the planet? How can I be a service for the planet? And just receive the answer. What's coming? How can I be a service for the planet? You can take a deep breath. Just realize these questions and answers again and open your eyes. So you could stop now the podcast listening if you want so, and you could jot down your messages, your answers. Just write down these things. So the questions were like asking yourself first, where am I right now in my process? Do I have any resistance towards? What is my task now? How can I be a service for the planet? You could go back to this particular area. You could repeat this because as time goes by, you could have more information, you could have more perspective, because we could have some parallel timelines in our soul purpose, in our life purpose. But maybe in another podcast episode, I'm gonna talk about these things too. And if you are interested, in different topics like this, as I told you, with the timelines, with our timings and life purposes, then yes, life purposes, we have more than one, then you could contact me, as you could see in the description field of this podcast episode. So we just finished this kind of exercise with the questions, and then I'm going to continue now with some perspectives about the answers, about the questions. So first, I wanted to highlight this. You don't need to think big things, that you need to accomplish very big things. Yes, it could happen that you received big answers, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. From the quantum perspective, there isn't any difference between the big and the little one. So it means everything is neutral. And when I had a session with one of my clients, he was really dedicated to do his life purpose. And I said to him that the quantum shows me so much that he has a very important life purpose. And this life purpose is to be the father of his children. And until this time point, he didn't even realize that this is his life purpose as well. So we couldn't make any difference between huge and little life purposes, because each and every life purpose is very, very important. So when we raise our child and we couldn't know at the beginning of their life, or we have some psychic senses and information about the future, but actually maybe we couldn't know that what they will accomplish in their life. And when we are able to give gifts for them, like kindness, like having boundaries, self-love, appreciation, gratitude, or other skills and virtues and emotions, we couldn't know that in their life at some point how they will give back these things to the planet. I want to share with you another perspective about life purpose, about the question, who am I? So, I told you this is a deep spiritual question, but we have an exact energetic imprint according to our birth time, our birth. There were different energies, there were different imprints, but we choose for a reason this kind of birth time, birth date, because it's important these energies will affect us. So, in case of numerology and astrology, you have the possibility to see in your own chart, in your own numbers, what kind of energies you have to express in your own life. At some point, I really want to feel that I have my own free will, I could arrange my timings, I could arrange, and also according to the information from the quantum, I could arrange my life, But at some point, I had to face with this that yes, for example, in case of numerology, there are some very exact and punctual datas which could help me to see myself, my life mission from a different perspective. So in numerology, we could see that there are some core numbers, and now I want to highlight two. One of them is the life path number. This is your journey. This is your biggest service. That what you could give for the people, for the planet in your life. And the next one, which was really important for me to see my purpose from a different perspective, that was the soul urge number. I know that different numerology perspectives could use these words in different forms, but you could search for that on the internet. So soul urge number, it's also important. It's about showing the way how you could do this. So the life path could show your service, but the way how you could express yourself and also enjoy the process, this is the soul urge number. I really don't want to take our time now how you could calculate these things, because there are amazing numerologists who could help with this So on the internet, on YouTube, there are some numerology applications as well, calculators online in the applications. So I just don't want to spend a lot of time now with this. And I could tell you my example, how this information was helpful for me. So, in case of my life, my example is like this. My life path number, it's number 11. Number 11 is a master number. It's really about channeling information, being a bridge between the divine and the planet, giving and channeling information for the planet. It's also about the leadership, because there is this kind of double one energy there, and also because the double one, we could say that there are some characteristics from the number 2. It's about the empathy, compassion too, but there are a lot of information more than just this, just to highlight some of them. So actually I was aware of that at some point, but when I realized that that I have number 11 and I have this kind of channeling opportunity or skill in myself, I was doing already, but I wasn't aware or so conscious about that I had to do something with this. And I already started to realize, but I didn't know the how. How can I express myself? How can I express and give this kind of information to the planet? Then at some point, I just realized, my soul urge number It's number 3. Number 3 is about creativity. And in the past, there are some more information about 3. So if you're interested about that, you could check on the internet. Just I want to highlight some information which was important for me. So in case of number 3, in case of creativity, maybe you don't know about me this now, but you will know that in the past I was singing in a band, and not just in a band, like I was singing always in my school, in my high school. I was singing the national anthem at the final ceremony in my high school. So I was just doing these things, and I was dancing as well. I was acting different roles, in the school too. So there were a lot of opportunities when I had the chance to express my creativity. But I didn't even realize that I was creative because that was so natural for me. And that was always part of my life at some point. So when I wasn't dancing or singing or acting roles, then I was doing, for example, video editing or recording videos for my class for different championships, for different tasks in the community. And I just didn't even realize, I wasn't aware of that. But as time went by, I stopped to do these things. There were some challenges as well, but I had different highlights in my life, important things, and I stopped doing these things. And I started to feel some kind of emptiness within myself. And when I realized, in case of my soul urge number, that I have this creativity number 3, then I was already aware of that. Oh, I shouldn't stop these things. I should do these things. I should continue to do different creative ways in my life because it makes me happy. So the soul urge number shows you how you could be happy in your life. So it could show you that when you have a purpose in your life, like I have the channeling, the best way for me to do that, to do it in a creative way. So like I'm channeling messages right now as well, Some of them could be my thought forms or could come from the divine, but I am channeling messages. And for example, this podcast project is also a creative idea. I have other ideas as well. But when I started to realize this, what I just told you, that I'm giving the control, my will, to the quantum field. And at some point I want to highlight this, that yes, I have my own will, of course, but I just don't want to control my whole life. I just want to be a pure channel. I just want to be, in my life according to the life force energy, that I don't need to push so hard. I don't need to work so hard because I could enjoy the moment. I could be myself, but from a really different, from a really high level perspective. And it's so much more enjoyable and lovely and playful. And I could tell you a lot of characteristics for that, but you could just tap into that. You could just experience it, just taste it, because it's another life. When I realized first that I need to channel my own quantum techniques, I felt so free, because I didn't need to fit in. I just realized that I am different, but not just me. Everybody is different. And I just stopped blaming myself that why I cannot be like everyone else, why I cannot do the things like everybody else, because I'm different. But you are different. You are unique. I am unique. We are. Everyone is unique. So we don't need to fit in. And when you realize this, that you don't need to fit in, you could be your own self, your very authentic self, then this is the freedom in your life. This is the time when you realize that you are absolutely okay, you are worthy, and your uniqueness is your strength. We couldn't and we shouldn't compare ourselves with each other. So stop doing that. When you feel scrolling the social media that you are not worthy, that you are not enough, just stop doing that. Close your social media, search for something on the internet or in your books, in your phone. You could save something as a reminder that you are unique, you are worthy, you are enough, you are beautiful, you are amazing, because it's true. You have more than just your physical body, but in your physical presence, in your physical being, you have everything what you need, even more. You have everything right now, all of the tools in your hand. And if you're gonna need anything else which could help you, affect you in a good way, then you will have the possibility to reach these things as well. You could learn, you could develop yourself. Just take your time each and every day to develop yourself. Even if it's just one quick 1 minute meditation, just do it for yourself, because you are unique and you have a unique purpose. There is a unique expression from the universe what wants to be in this kind of physical earth through you. Only you. No one else can do this. You are one and only. Okay? So you have this kind of special energetic imprint. And when you start to see, for example, from the numerology perspective, these numbers, then you could have some insights about that. There are some other numbers as well in numerology. You could search for that on the internet. Okay? But I wanted to highlight this to here because that was so helpful. That was a huge breakthrough in my own life. So just a quick summary about this today podcast episode. When you are in alignment with your inner being, with this kind of immortal, eternal being of yourself, and knowing who you are, then you are more than just a physical form. But also knowing and being aware of the physical form expressions, as I just highlighted here, then you have the possibility to live your life in a different, higher way. Living your life for yourself, making your life for yourself. So the physical expression could be, like I just told you, in case of the numerology number, as you could see your own characteristics in your lifetime. And you will have a different life experience. You could live your life for yourself, not for anybody else. This is very, very important. And from the perspective of the non-physical world, I could tell you, when you just start to be only present in the moment, you could realize your own inner peace and also the wisdom beyond the physical planet and the physical being, your physical being. And when you realize this, then you will have more power than you could ever imagine in your life to create the life what you want, or even more what the universe wants to give you. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate your time, your effort to listen to this podcast episode. If you like this podcast episode and if you think that it could be helpful for others, for your friends, for your family, loved ones, then don't forget to share with them. Just raise the vibration of this planet together. Thank you so much in advance for that. And don't forget to subscribe and like and also share if you want. So see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.